What's up, you alkies? You're in the machine. Today we are tasting non-alcoholic beer. I'm doing it so you don't have to. Why? It's dry January. Maybe you need a little something to get you through the last weekend, mainly out of boredom. I'm a fan of saying this is not alcoholism, it's boredom. You're off work, the chores are done, nothing else is going on. Let's get some beers. Today we have three really common beers that you can probably find in your grocery store no matter where you live. Budweiser Zero, which actually is zero. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. Coors Edge, so you can keep your edge. And the ever popular O'Doul's, which is in just about every restaurant. If you're like dating a pregnant chick or whatever and you got to order a non-alcoholic, it's probably going to be an O'Doul's. Really quick, why does non-alcoholic beer taste like garbage? Because usually the process is to just brew beer, and then when it's done, after it's alkalized, boil the hell out of it to vaporize off the booze, which is why there's almost always a little bit of alcohol left in the beer, usually like 0.5% or so, like a 1/12 of your regular big beer. Because they can't quite boil it all off. Somehow, the Anheuser-Busch company has mastered a method of getting it down to actual zero. Can you get drunk off non-alcoholic? Probably not, and here's why. You would have to drink a lot of it really fast, like 6, 8, 10 beers in an hour, which of course for any professional is possible, but when you're drinking beer, the alcohol is a diuretic, which empties your stomach and empties your bladder, making more room for more beer. If it's all non-alcoholic, it'd be like how many pints of water can you drink before you fill up your stomach? It's sort of the same thing. Don't get me wrong, don't sue me or make me pay for your DUI. It's possible, but it would take a lot of this beer. So, on with the program. Let's start with the Bud Zero, no particular order. I'm going to be real professional here. I'm going to cleanse the palate with water each time. And we are going to use our 5 senses to taste the beer, just to be sort of snobby and so you can seem like you're something special at your next dinner party. Sight, how does the beer look when we pour it? Smell, of course, that's part of taste. What does it taste like? And sound, believe it or not, it's kind of important that you hear a hiss when you open your beer. That's the carbonation, duh. Little bit, just a little bit of sound out of the Bud Zero, going for the pour. Super clear, as they're pretty much all going to be. Minimal head because I didn't pour it aggressively, and it's not all that carbonated. How does it smell? About like I'm predicting. What kind of rise do we have from the carbonation? Not all that much, but let's be fair, give it a taste. Checking for a little mouthfeel, not my term. Not a lot of flavor. It is a lager, kind of bland, kind of watery. I guess it's refreshing if you're super thirsty. One more, just to be certain. I'm going to grade these on a curve, so wait till the end so I can tell you what I think of the Bud Zero. Cleansing the palate, Coors Edge is up next, in case you want to keep your edge. Let's listen for it. Still not much of a hiss. Pouring it out. I'll be damned, it looks exactly like the other one. Totally transparent, not too fizzy. A little more rise, I would say, in the bubbles. That's the term for how quickly your carbonation is running up from the bottom of the vessel. Surprised you didn't know that. Let's give it a smell. Smells about like I thought. How about a taste? Mouthfeel. Not surprisingly, tastes a lot like a regular Coors, almost like a banquet. Still pretty darn watery. Both of these so far, I have tasted no hop profile at all. But I'm not going to hold that against them. They're trying. Okay, the famous O'Doul's. This is everywhere. I don't care where you are. I've actually seen this out of the country because I'm such a world traveler. Let's give it a pop. About the same amount of hiss. Let's give it a pour. Pretty well the same color. Not much head, because I'm giving it an easy pour. Much different smell, a slight bit of skunk to this one, almost like a Heineken or something. And here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Don't want to cheat the O'Douls, folks. About the same. Bottom line, none of these are fantastic. I wouldn't drink them unless I was doing this specifically for you. Maybe if you're pregnant or you're in recovery or you're on probation or something and you're trying to keep away the shakes, this is a good alternative. I will, though, as promised, score them in order of worst to least worst. I would say the least flavorful and nastiest is the Budweiser Zero, followed pretty closely by the Coors Edge, and lastly, the O'Douls. Not great. None of them really have a hop profile. I believe it's because it's boiled out, but I'm sure somebody smarter than me can double check that. I would actually think about this almost like something you're forced to do. If I wasn't drinking, I would just have a soda pop or something else. But if you're really trying to fit in and look cool and you just want to have the same color drink as everybody in your pint glass, I suppose one of these would work. I would almost rate them in the order of like, whose pee do you want to drink? The Bud Zero is like your cousin who only eats asparagus. No frickin' way. The Coors Edge is like your mom with like a moderate, diet of animal products. And lastly, the O'Douls would be like some hippie who has a really clean diet of mainly plants and drinks a lot of water. Not appetizing, but I suppose if I had to be hit over the head with one, it would be the O'Douls. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like beer and yoga and jiu-jitsu. And if not, subscribe anyway. It's free. Now I have 3 6-packs of non-alcoholic beer.
But the whole point of the machine is to relieve you of that suffering.